What's up, CHFFL? Welcome to the first round of pre-draft outlooks for the 2019 season. We're going to do Mark, Pa, and Max today. Remember, this is just a series of videos I do where I make a tier list of where I think everybody's kind of sitting before the draft happens based on their keepers and based on their draft board, which draft picks they have. So we're only using this year. I've simplified things a bit to be able to fit 3 teams into each of these videos. We're only using Fantasy Pros expert consensus ranking, PPR, to compare to, nothing about from ESPN, because Fantasy Pros just takes a bunch of different experts, matches them together, so it's not really biased towards anything. Now, a few things to keep in mind. I'm not going to want to repeat all the time, but I'll just go over now. Keepers tend to devalue picks, so I did a video about this last year. Imagine Michael Thomas, Alvin Kamara, James Conner, off the top of my head, are all first-round picks being kept. They bump the value of every pick after them down a little bit, and that accumulates each round. So in general, keepers have a little edge to picks in importance. Higher round keepers, as in, and I might have worded this backwards, as in rounds closer to the first round, are going to be worth more, even if the gap between where they're kept and the expert consensus rank is lower. And in general, for our league is really strong this year. I have kind of been beating myself up about what this tier list is going to look like, because I know that there are some really good teams that I just had to give a B because I had to come up with criteria to separate things. So don't think that if you have a B that I don't think that your team is stacked and could be really good. Let's start with Mark, though, and Mark is one of my favorite specimens for the pre-draft outlook this year, based mostly on his keepers. Mark has, looking at his draft board, an extra third, and he has a 5th instead of a 6th. Those are the 2 major things. The extra third, obviously really helpful, could round out anything he wants there. But for the keepers, he has a lot of options I really like. So your obvious 2 are Chubb. He can have a 9th round, pick 106. And Chubb's going toward the middle end of the 2nd round. Fantastic. 85 picks in between where he'll keep him and where he's projected to go. Hunter Henry, also easy. You take him in the 13th round, you got your tight end out of the way. Now, on the other 3 here, for Kenny Golladay, Mark would need to trade for a 6th round pick, and I think he's had some chatter in chat about doing that. Marlon Mack could also be a good keeper. I actually, though, think that taking Jared Goff, who has an even bigger, well, I guess it's a little smaller than Hunter Henry, but a big gap like Hunter Henry, and Mark has the 2 13th round picks to do this. Goff is only a middle of the road quarterback, but if you did that and you had Henry and Goff, your tight end and quarterback are done. And you have Chubb, you have an RB1, you can just draft pure value. You have no worries about filling any positions. But whatever Mark decides to do, I think he's in a really good space. Right now, it has to be fun for him to watch this the round of preseason games tomorrow, knowing that he has so much he can play with. I give Mark an A as one of the higher ranked teams in the league. I think he's looking really good in what's going to be a very competitive cartoon conference. So let's move on to Parker, last year's runner-up and the, drafter of the High Seas conference. Parker kind of went all in last year, and it paid off because he got the runner-up. I mean, you always take a chance at a championship when you can get it, but it's left him a little thin this year. You see he's got, no 7th there and no 11th in exchange for 13th and a 15th. I mean, that's not too bad, but it's a below-average board. And now, keepers, these are the only 2 keeper options I could really find on Pa's team. James White in the 7th, and he doesn't even have a 7th-round pick, so we would need to trade for one. White's going in the mid-50s. PPR, he's got a lot more value. Calvin Ridley, good, and that's probably what Paul ended up going with, is just Ridley. Keep him in the 8th round. He's also going in the mid-50s, or he's also ranked in the mid-50s. I keep saying going, but it's not actually ADP. It's just what the ranks have him at. So that's one fine keeper, a below-average draft board. I have to give Pa a C, put him down there in the bottom. And so I'm trying to paint a picture of what the tier list is going to look like and what the different criteria for teams are by going 1 high, 1 low. Let's go 1 in the middle. And I really like Max's team. he's got some really good keepers. His draft board is a little weak, which is what gives me pause. No 6th or 7th round, and nothing to make up for that. He has the 6th overall pick. It's not bad. Patrick Mahomes, I don't like going for quarterbacks early, but if you take the number 1 quarterback in the 11th round, that's worth something to me. So he'll obviously do that. Damian Williams, fluctuating a lot, I see between like bottom of the 2nd to somewhere between top or mid 3rd for a 12-team league, but still really good value getting him in the 8th round there. I think it would be worth it. Max only has 1 8th round pick, but I think he should trade for another 8th round pick to keep Tyler Boyd. I think that would be worth it to give him a little security. Then he's got a quarterback, a running back, and a wide receiver all going into the draft. And that would be 3 strong keepers if he could pull that trade off. My grade is partially based on him having not done that yet and only being able to keep one of those 8th round picks and missing the 5th and or the was it 5, 6 or 6, 7. Either way, I give Max a B. I put him right in the middle of the tier list. Still has a great chance to have a very good season. And this is what we're shaping up to be. This is going to be a really fun series of videos. It's going to be 3 more. Yes, of 3 teams each. Thanks for watching this one. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, like and let me know in chat. And I'll see you for the next one. I will see you for the next. There we go.